Good morning. It is the weekly masterclass, and I am Lindsay Burden, and I'm a business coach. And I call myself the energetic business coach because I believe that with the right energy behind the action, the project, you, the business, anything is possible for you. And today I am talking about that really important subject, which is your client. Now, your client is the center of everything that you do. Your client is the center of your universe, your world, your business. And it's so, so important that we understand who we want to work with. Okay, who do you want to work with? Who is your 5-star, awesome for you client, your soul client? Who is the person that you would walk over hot coals to work with? Now, there is a reason this is so important, and how we decide who our perfect client is has changed, I believe, over the years. There was a time when we were all talking about buyer persona and avatars, and we needed to know how old they were and whether they were divorced, married, at the school gate, on the golf course. We needed to know all of those things about them. And actually, that made it really, really hard for me to think about who I wanted to work with. It made me really hard to niche. And for you, it might be that you really do want to niche. But the way that I'm going to share with you today on how to decide who your client is works even if you want to niche. And I'll explain that in a moment. So first of all, when I first started to decide and look at who my client was, I really struggled with that. Are they male? Are they female? And I had this voice in my head, I must niche, I must niche, I must know who they are. But I really struggled with that. And it really felt uncomfortable for me. And for many, many years, my business did not have a buyer persona or an avatar for it. And quite frankly, in the end, I just gave up until I was introduced to a new way of defining who my client was. And that was by looking at who they were as a person. Because actually it didn't matter to me what industry they were in. Now, as time has gone by, I guess I have niched in some ways because there are some industries that I feel I'm not the best person to assist with. I'm not the right coach for certain businesses because they are specialized. E-commerce is one that over the years, it's become it's a really specialized area, and I don't feel I'm the right person. So I've probably defined who is not a great client for me by industry. But actually, the person is all that really matters. I've just noticed my screen's gone and I stuck. So let's think about who your client is. Who is the person that you really, really want to work with? And I do this in a way now in my business that I just think about the characteristics, the emotions, the feelings, the person that they are in here. And that enables me to define that client way more easily than I could if I was trying to decide how old they were, where they were hanging out, and all of those things. And I'm not saying that that's not important, but for me, it was more about the person. So just think about your 5-star, awesome for you, soul client, whatever you want to call them right now. What kind of person are they? So if we look in my industry, the coaching industry, it's someone that is ready to step out of the comfort zone. It's somebody that knows that they're holding themselves stuck. It's somebody that knows they're ready for the next step, that really values themselves and what they have to offer, that understands that they're going to need to put the work in, but want to put the right work in. So it's not somebody that's looking for a quick fix. It's, for me anyway, it's not someone that's looking for a quick fix. It's not someone who's looking for all the answers and needs me to give them the answer. It's not someone who's going to sit in front of me and says, I've done that, I've tried that and nothing's working. That I guess is in the victim mode. I want someone who's ready to go, hey, Lindsay, I'm good to go. I'm ready to step up. I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to do my best work. I'm ready to create the transformations that I know are possible from working with me in my products, offers, and services. So for me, it's very much about the person themselves. The reason it is so important that you know who your client is, whether you use a buyer persona, an avatar, or you look at the characteristics, the emotions, and who the person is because when we truly understand who that is, we start to attract them more easily. And when we're attracting the right type of client, everything becomes easier for us. You've probably worked in the past with somebody who you know is not the right client for you, whether you knew immediately or or you discovered as you began working with them. They probably eat your time. They probably ask the same questions. It feels like they're energy draining. For me, it's somebody that's really energy draining. Now, if I decide to work with that person, or if I start to work with that person, what can happen is that I won't do my best work, so they're not going to recommend me. They won't get the results that they need because we're not a good match, because they're not a match to my client policy. So therefore, they're not going to get the results. They're not going to recommend me. So can you see immediately how when we work with the wrong type of client, it has a detrimental impact to our business, but also to ourselves. It knocks our confidence. When we're working with people who are not an ideal match for us, we don't do our best work. We start to doubt ourselves. The voice of doubt pops up and is, constantly in our ear going, you're not good enough. You need to do more work. You need more qualifications. It's the imposter syndrome comes up in the bucket load because we've chosen to work with someone who is not a perfect match. So when we work with clients who are not perfect matches, it has a detrimental impact on our business because we will continuously attract those people. Because even if you are able to do your best work, guess what's happened? They're going to tell everyone how awesome you are, and you're just going to attract more of those people. Or on the other side, you will not do your best work and it will have a detrimental impact on your business. So it's really important that you take the time to work out who it is that you truly want to work with, the type of client that you can do your best work with. And this is really important, both whether you're B2B, business to business, or business to consumer, B2C. So when we know who our client with, lots of things start happening. One, our marketing will start to shine because we'll start to use the right terminology, because what we put out there will start to connect in a way that really, really resonates with that ideal audience and only that perfect for you client. That's the power from a marketing perspective. Suddenly your marketing cannot be wrong. I worked with a coach many years ago called Gina Gabellini, and I remember her saying that your marketing will always resonate with your perfect for you client. So therefore you cannot get your marketing wrong. That was life-changing. Well, probably not life-changing. It was business-changing for me. It changed my concept, my idea of marketing. And I was only able to do that by starting to dig a little deeper and understanding who I really wanted to work with. So when you understand who your client is, one, you're doing your business a huge favor. You are going to change your marketing and it will be a natural change. It won't be you having to shift from one container to the next to suddenly marketing yourself differently. What it will mean is your marketing will be more natural. Your copy will flow from you. It will resonate. You will start connecting. Now, that doesn't mean to say that it might need tweaking and you may have to go on a little journey with your marketing, but it will instantly become easier when you know who it is that you're talking to. And you might be saying, well, that's true if you know who your buyer persona, if you have a buyer persona or an avatar, but it's a deeper connection when you define who your client is by their emotions, by their characteristics, where they are, what they want, what's important to them. So the first thing it will do, it will change your marketing. And that means that you will start to attract a steady flow of clients. It will stop the feast and famine of clients that you might be experiencing. So a consistent flow of clients means a consistent flow of income. Feast and famine is hard work in businesses. It's a bit like, you're on the marketing treadmill and you're doing your stuff and you're doing your work, and then you get lots and lots of clients, so you stop with your marketing. And then suddenly your clients start to dry up, the work comes to an end, and then you've got to lift your marketing up again. When you know who your client is, your marketing will be more natural, it will be easier, and you will just be doing it all the time. and attracting the right kind of client. So knowing your client has a positive impact on you, a positive impact on your business. It will make your marketing easier, more natural, which means you're attracting the right kind of clients, which means you're creating a consistent flow of clients and income. How awesome is that? 2 for the price of 1. Consistent clients coming to you and income. The other thing that will happen when you truly understand who it is that you want to work with is you will start to match your offers, your products and your services to that client. Now, this is really, really important because I know in my own business, certainly at the beginning, because I wasn't clear on who I wanted to work with, it all felt like it was a bit of a mismatch. It felt like it was a bit clunky. I was constantly creating offers, products, services for the person that was in front of me. Now, don't get me wrong, when we first start our businesses, that is or can be what happens, because we just want to open the doors of our businesses and we want to start working with a client, you know, with amazing clients, even though they may not be, and we just want to start creating an income. We get excited. So I do understand it, and I do appreciate that, you know, at the beginning of our journeys, it can be simply that we're just out there, we want to work with people, so therefore we get into this this habit of creating what is needed or what need is presented to us. Now, this will overcomplicate your business, and I say that because I know I've done it and I've been there. It wasn't until I started to really understand who I wanted to work with that I was able to match the offers, which meant I didn't have to keep creating. It meant that I was finally able to create the right offers and consistently promote the same offers. Now, that doesn't mean to say that I'm not tweaking them, I'm not changing them, I'm not developing them, because as I grow and develop, so is my expectation of my client. So is how I look at my client. And it is a journey. So who you might have seen as an ideal client when you first opened the doors of your business, you know, spin forward 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, it may not be. So your ideal client is something you should be going back to all the time. So I create a 5-star client policy at the beginning of every financial year, and I go back to it regularly. And when I say regularly, I have it in a folder, so it's constantly close to hand, but I also make a conscious effort to check back in, particularly when I'm creating something or changing something, because I need to go back. Now, occasionally I need to, you know, tweak that client policy because I have changed, I have grown, and that will also happen to you. And that's okay, because, you know, growth is inevitable. You know, your personal development is inevitable when you commit to your business and you commit to an awesome, successful business. So when you truly know who your perfect for you ideal client is, it's good for your business. It's good for you because it will enable you to do your very best work, but it's also good for your clients because you don't want that mismatch. You don't want to be attracting the wrong type of client, because when we do that, we can go suddenly back, you know, to that bad habit. Oh, all these clients are coming to me now, so I need to create something for them. It takes courage to stay true to who you really want to work with, but it is worth it, I promise you. So let me recap. Knowing your ideal client is good for you, good for your business, good for your client. It will enable you to put marketing out there that resonates. It will enable you to attract clients from that marketing with a real ease and way more naturally for you. It will stop you attracting the wrong client, and it's the wrong client that is potentially keeping you stuck, which actually means it's you keeping you stuck because you're not having the courage to say no. And this is what will happen. You will get much better at making decisions in your business, much better about saying no to the wrong type of client. because you only want to work with your soul clients. It's about having that courage to do that. It's about having courage to say, this is who I want to work with because I know I can do my best work, and trusting that that will attract more, trusting that by making that decision in your business, you will have far better marketing than you can ever imagine. It's almost like it doesn't matter what you put out there, it will always be attracting perfect for you clients. So suddenly you're creating ease and flow in your business just from that one task, defining who it is that you truly want to work with. But the next step of that is you really need to trust that decision. You really need to lean in to that decision once you have made it, to ensure that you're creating the right offers, to ensure that you're working with the right clients, to ensure that your business can grow in a way that feels really, really great, and to stop you falling back into those bad habits, because we know habits are really easy to fall back into, particularly the bad ones. So who is it that you truly, truly want to work with? What kind of person are they? Now, it might be that you say, well, actually, Lindsay, I only want to work with women. That's fine. State it. Take some time today. You just need 2 columns. This is what your 5-star client is. This is what your 5-star client isn't. It really, really is that simple. Lean into it. Perhaps you're already working with a perfect client. Well, what are their characteristics, emotions? What kind of person? Where were they in their journey when they came to you? This will, because I know when we used to do buyer personas and avatars, that was so we knew where to market our businesses because we knew where they were hanging out. I used to use those phrases all the time. The great news is that by understanding your client in this way, you will still start to see and understand where they're going to be. And so you can make sure that your marketing is in the same place. But remember, your marketing will always resonate. However, there is a caveat to that. There is absolutely no point in spending any time on a social media platform if you know that your client isn't there. So do use what comes out of your this exercise to make those decisions. But don't just make the decisions, take the action. If you're deciding that your client really isn't hanging out here or isn't doing this work here, stop doing it. This is your moment to make a really pivotal decision in your business. And that is when you have decided who it is that you truly want to work with, you can stop creating offers and services that are not a match. You can stop promoting your business in the places where your ideal client is not hanging out. You can start to see how perhaps you have offers and products that no longer match, so you can push those to one side. I've done it myself where I'm just like, oh my goodness, am I just flogging a dead horse here? It's only when I go back to my ideal client and go, okay, I've changed, I've grown, who I want to work with has changed. And then I have to be brave and leave behind what might have worked or was good so that I can make room for the really great, which is something that I was part of a webinar challenge thing yesterday. And that's exactly what was being said. We have to make room. And if you're working with not perfect for you clients, you're not making room. You're not making the room in your business, in your life for those amazing clients. And you can use that scenario in other things in your life as well. I'm not going to go there, but there's lots of things buzzing around in my head. It's so true. We have to make room for our perfect clients. We have to make room in our businesses for the perfect match offers. So it's not just about deciding who you want to work with. It's about using that information to make decisions in your business and then following that through, leaning in and trusting your decisions. And that does take courage and it does take bravery. But I know you can do that. And I know you are brave and I know that you are courageous because you started a business, and that is proof enough. You show up every day. You keep coming into the office or the salon or whatever it is to do your best work. You have already proved that you are courageous and brave. So it's now time to step up. It's now time to go, okay, who is it I really want to work with? Because this is one of the keys to developing your business, to growing your business, to expanding your income capacity by working with the right client. I wrote down here on my notes, it's always about the client. When you truly understand who you want to work with and you truly understand who that client is and what they look and what they feel like and what their emotions are and what their characteristics are, you will put them first in everything you do. Everything you do. You will ensure that you are talking to that one perfect client in all that you do. You will quite literally change how you show up. And this is the power of knowing who your audience truly is,